Hello, this is the Project 3 presentation video from Group B, including Yvonne Benetti and Addison Booley. Our topic is the circulation and transformation of information. The name of our first article is Hard Evidence, How Does False Information Spread Online? From the conversation and by Farida Weiss, a faculty research fellow at the University of Sheffield. So, how does false information spread online? First, being first to report breaking news has long been a key value for traditional media outlets. But being too quick to report news leads to the spread of false information. Now, news organizations are concentrating on providing the correct information and less on being first to make a report. Second, verification takes time, and news organizations cannot keep up with the spread of false reports on social media. Third, memes take real material or incidents and Photoshop to turn the situation into something different. Here is the Oxford survey in which British internet users rated the reliability of information based on its source, with 1 being totally unreliable and 5 being totally reliable. Next, the name of our second article is Top 10 Trends of 2014, number 10, The Rapid Spread of Misinformation Online, from the World Economic Forum and also by Farida Weiss. So, why is misinformation spread so rapidly? Well, there is difficulty in finding where the material originated. Some examples include the UK riots in the summer of 2011, when rumors on Twitter stated a children's hospital had been attacked by looters, or in December 2012 with the Newton shootings, when a Facebook page was misidentified as belonging to the shooter. Or in April 2013 with the Boston bombing, when social media users wrongfully claimed a missing student was one of the bombers. One problem occurring with information that is provided on the web is that information gets circulated and transformed on mediums rapidly. Another problem is that we need to have the ability to process information and the spread of information quickly. Some solutions are online communities that can quickly debunk rumors, and that we must verify online images. To continue, the articles to be discussed in the following slides magnify the evolving mediums by which information is circulated. In their article, A Once Unimaginable Scenario, No More Newspapers, Douglas McLennan and Jack Miles argue that the circulation of information via newspaper is deteriorating and that this is a bad transition for society. To begin, McLennan and Miles utilize statistics to support their statement regarding the deterioration of newspapers. In the U.S., since 1994, weekday print circulation has decreased from nearly 60 million to 35 million for combined print and digital circulation. From 1994 to 2014, newsroom employment decreased by nearly 40%. McLennan and Miles proceed to address why this deterioration is a bad transition, raising the question, where will the information come from in the first place, referring to the transition from newspapers to social media. This connects closely to the transformation of information, as a reporter at the scene and covering the news is more reliable than many social media voices. Secondly, they make a statement regarding the significance of opposition with newspapers. Traditionally, a competing newspaper would cover a balancing perspective of the same story. However, this is a weakness to overcome in today's setup of social media. Lastly, they point to newspapers historically calling themselves mirrors, metaphorically comparing themselves to mirrors to the population whose stories they cover. With the decrease in newspapers, their strong ability to cover true and accountable news decreases. Moving forward with the assumption that the circulation of information is transitioning from newspaper to social media, in their article, News Use Across Social Media Platforms 2016, Jeffrey Gottfried and Alyssa Shearer present a heavily statistical analysis of circulating news information via social media. The article begins with the non-startling statistic that 62% of U.S. adults get news on social media. However, later in the article, the distinction is made between those adults either seeking out or simply seeing news online. The researchers found that adults using YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as a news source are more likely to do so because they simply saw it. In contrast, the number of adults using Reddit, Twitter, and LinkedIn to seek out news is equivalent to the number on these same sites simply seeing it. Some of the other statistics to highlight include 44% of the general population get news on Facebook. 64% of those who get news on social media do so on just one site. 20% of news users from the 5 sites with the biggest news audiences also get news from nightly network television news. Also, all of these diagrams and more interesting statistics can be found at the link to this article. Again, these articles present in this video are intended to show the evolving mediums by which information is circulated in today's society. Lastly, our questions for you to discuss are: first, to what extent do you think journalists should fight to keep newspapers as a medium of circulating information? Or do you think journalists should adapt, finding a way to make a living communicating via social media platforms? And secondly, from your own experience, how reliable are news articles you encounter on social media? How do you determine this? What is your next step in researching the given news topic if your original source was found unreliable?